You know, first I'd like to say good evening to you folks. It's kind of late. I won't be long. But I said I'm going to do a part two, and I want to blend this in the debauchery, the madness, the racism, and the hatred, and the insanity of the young, sometimes of this four Chicago teens and this nut job, this kook from Charleston, South Carolina, Dylan Roof. And I won't be long. But I'm wondering what's scary is the way people are thinking. Do you know the lack of respect and love that we have for one another, even if you don't love a person, the lack of respect the races are having, race relations are at an all-time low. And America is seen to be, instead of one of the safest, is one of the most dangerous countries now of all. I mean, almost as bad as some third world countries. You're afraid to go to the mall. You're afraid to go to the theater. Bomb might go off. Gunshots might start erupting. People all over the floor. You're afraid to catch the plane. You got to look over both sides of your shoulders. And yet racism, it just will not stop. And racism is a learned behavior. That's just plain old hatred because of somebody, the way they sound, the language they speak, or the color of their skin. This goes to show you how little man himself has improved. He has, matter of fact, man has not improved at all. Man is worse now than he has ever been. He's more deranged, maniacal, a complete maniac. Man is turning into a nut job. And a lot of this is the fault. This lays on the doorsteps of our politicians. When you can take a capitalist society and corrupt it and turn it into an oligarchy, or should I say, crony capitalism, it's all about money, where the top 1% rule and dupe us into fighting and hitting one another. I can't even tell you how many times I was profiled by police. Yeah, I'm going to be brief. Every member on both sides of the family, the mother and the father, aunts and uncles, all of them was in the house. Both of my grandparents, my mother and father, all of them were in the house. I grew up in a two-parent household. So Bill O'Reilly and Rudy Giuliani is a flat-foot, bald-faced, womanizing, draft-dodging bunch of liars, perverts, sickos, degenerates. So let me get on with this brief video. It's now this Dylan Roof hated blacks so much. You should even see the article. Yeah, you should see the article on AT&T or the home pages and see the responses. Even they agree with him. Well, he one of them. He's my hero. He did have a lot of truth, and it's no different with black people. With these four miscreants, these four buffoons, these these intellectual juggernauts, these intellectual sophisticates, these critical and abstract thinkers, including Dylan Roof, didn't have any better sense to go, these four clowns to go and film this foolishness and put it on Facebook to show you what a bunch of four jerks and clowns. And like Dylan Roof, showed no remorse. They weren't the least bit ashamed or sorry. for their actions. But ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Roof deserved just what he asked for. And they didn't want to give him the death penalty. He actually, by his own ways and actions, literally begged for it. I read the whole article I did, and after that it said, listen to this, I quote, he threw away the last chance he had to beg and plead for his life. I quote, instead of saying something and begging and pleading for his life, he said, I did it because I felt I had to. You understand this? Yeah? The lives of the four clowns, I admit that was stupid and wrong. But don't judge all black people by the actions of four jerks, four miscreants. Just like we can't judge all white people by this clown, this idiot, this imbecile, Dylan Roof. Racism and hatred of any kind is a sickness, and it's going to destroy every nation just like it always has. No nation survived forever. Like America, like Rome. It's going down the same path ancient Rome. A big country, not $22 trillion in debt, $60 trillion in debt. The actual phenomenal price. There are no jobs. I mean money. The few jobs there are the nuclear industry, construction, healthcare, and a few. But as far as these great days of glory pass, they're not returning unless some kind of miracle take place. But to get back to what I'm talking to, these clowns and then these idiots took this helpless man. They deserve what they get. Now I know some people are going to call me a coolness, but I could care less. If you're wrong, I don't care if you're green. Is your blood red? You are wrong. All of these clowns. But the hypocrisy and the manner of which, right away they took up a GoFundMe for that young white fellow. Now, I don't blame them. I don't blame them for that. But nobody did it for those 9, the Charleston 9. You see the hypocrisy in this. That's why a lot of people say complete and total separation of the races. If we don't put God back in our schools and the 10 Commandments back on our courthouses and put our faith in God, we're finished. You can see that. You have to be a fool not to see that. And black people, let me tell you something. We need to start building up our own communities. Keep our money in our own communities. Your money's supposed to bounce 8 times before it goes out of your community. I will stay in our community 7 hours. We cannot survive at this pace. Do you know that there are only 12 million African American men in America? We have to stop this. Chicago is a disgrace. Detroit is a disgrace, but it's caused by something. That's caused by poverty. When automatic weapons and drugs just mysteriously appear, fully automatic weapons just appear all over Chicago, and it's been that way. They know the government's doing that. They know the police are putting those weapons there. They know it. We have to keep God first, put God back in our lives, unite, and build up our community. That's where we'll have our own businesses, and then teach and employ our own people. Look at the schools that we go to. We just started going to school 60 years ago. They were burning down schoolhouses in the early 60s. Look at what they did to those 4 girls. That clown is still alive. Yet look what they say about these 4 miscreants, black kids, teens in Chicago. There's some people, it did much more harm than good. Because I hate to see anybody get hurt, any innocent person. I hate that. I despise violence. But picking on innocent people is a disgrace. I don't care what color you are. I don't. I hate that. Dylan Roof wanted to start a race war. He said, "I'm not crazy. I don't want anybody speaking to me, speaking for me." He disobeyed everything his lawyers told him. He got just what he asked for, a death sentence. You ever asked yourself why nobody started a GoFundMe for the Charleston Nine? They did it for the and I'm not saying that's wrong, but let's everybody be fair and treat everybody the same way. Those 9 people, and Reverend Clemente Pinckney, who was a state senator, everybody loved the guy. He didn't do a thing wrong. That is this is what we just showed the whole world what hypocrites we are, or America is. This is a sad day. We're losing our country. Anytime it's legal for a 6 foot tall man to go in the bathroom with a girl just because well, I'm not going to go there. We're losing our country. God help us. The 4 Chicago teens and Dylan Roof, a disgrace to the legacy of America. God help us. We're losing our country. We may have already lost it. Most feel that there is no hope. Good night, folks. I'm through. I was going to do it. I'm finished with this. This is really disgusting. Racism, hatred, and murder and terrorism in America. A disgrace to freedom.